Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the pre-match preview regarding Barcelona and Galatasaray. But within this video, I'm also going to be talking about Raphina, which is a player that Barcelona are looking to get. And that is what we are going to be starting with first. And then we're going to be talking about the pre-match preview regarding Barcelona and Galatasaray. And so yes, I do want to announce this player. It does say here, according to Fabrizio Romano, that Barcelona are in the race to sign Leeds winger Raphina this summer. So if you guys do not know who Raphina is, he is a 25-year-old right winger. He does play for Brazil at the moment with Leeds. He does have a total of 9 goals and 2 assists, and as a winger he does have very impressive numbers, and he is considered as the main goal scorer for Leeds also. So you can just tell that they do highly depend on this player. Now there has been many clubs that have been eyeing this player. For example, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Liverpool, starting with Bayern are eyeing this player because if they do not achieve to renew Sané or Gnabry, or let's just say one of these players do leave, Bayern Munich are going to be looking to incorporate Raphina this summer. And it has been said, according to many reports, that they are willing to pay around 55 million euros for Raphina. But there hasn't been any report that was in Germany that reported that Bayern Munich wants to have Raphina this summer. So we're going to have to wait and see how all of this does play out. When it comes to Chelsea are on the race for this player. They're waiting though for Leeds to actually get relegated, because if Leeds get relegated from the Premier League, that would mean that Raphina's value is going to decrease, which could come out to 25 million euros. I do assume that Bayern, if they're actually interested in this player, are also waiting for the exact same thing. If Leeds get relegated, Raphina will go from 50 to 25 million euros in terms of his transfer fee. And the same thing is going to also go for Liverpool. Liverpool have actually tried to get Raphina last summer, and just looking at the clubs overall and seeing how Raphina is being wanted by these 3 very big clubs, it's a good sign, right? It's a very good sign, right? Because Barcelona, I assume, are also waiting on Leeds to see if they do get relegated, because his price will drop. And let me tell you, at the end of the day, Raphina is just another version of Dembele, I would say. But obviously, Dembele is more explosive, he's more threatening in the final third area. And the only way I could say Raphina could stand out from someone like Dembele would be that he is that typical Brazilian player. Someone who does like to make all of these tricks on the field. He likes to show his skills, do a lot of nutmegs, I would say. And the thing that I have also been hearing about Raphina is that sometimes he does lack tactical discipline. And at Barcelona, we cannot tolerate that. And especially when you are a right winger, you need to be able to defend when the ball needs to be defended. You need to be able to be offensive when Barcelona is in the attack. You cannot be walking anytime, anywhere on the field. You have to know exactly where you need to be positioned at. You cannot get away from your area and leave a lot of space on the right wing for the opposition to attack. Barcelona is not going to allow his tactical indiscipline. And so look, Barcelona do see Raphina as, I would say, a replacement of Dembele if he were to leave, or Adama Traoré if Barcelona do not end up paying the 35 million euros for this player. If Dembele and Adama Traoré do stay and continue for another season, which could be possible, I just do not see Raphina coming into this club. But as of now, Barcelona are just keeping an eye on this player. But now let's move on towards the pre-match preview regarding Barcelona and Galatasaray. So Barcelona is going to be playing at home. It is going to be at the Camp Nou. Yes, Barcelona do have a humongous advantage, and obviously this is going to be a game where Barcelona is going to want to win. Winning the Europa League means that Barcelona will be able to go to the Champions League, which is why Barcelona are going to try their best to knock out Galatasaray and go into the next round. Now, we look at the squad list here and we can see that there are many players that will be available for tomorrow, but there are going to be 3 players that will not be in this game. Gavi, right? Gavi is not going to be playing because in the previous game, he was considered to be a suspended player and he was not going to be available for the next game, which is now the game against Galatasaray, which is why he is not here in the squad list. I do assume, and everything does indicate, that Frenkie de Jong is going to be starting in the midfield and playing next to Pedri. Now moving on towards Ansu Fati, because many have been asking, what happened to Ansu Fati? When is he going to be returning? And Xavi did say this in the press conference, and I quote, "Ansu Fati is in the final part of his recovery. We will see when he joins the team, and that will mark when he can return. For me, he is a main player without a doubt." So the last details regarding Ansu Fati's recovery is that Ansu Fati should be returning and fully recovered by the end of March or in the beginning of April. We have to remember that Ansu Fati made the decision to say, I do not want surgery, because if I do take this surgery, I am going to be out for about 3 to 4 months, and I do not want to do that. I want to play in this season. So Ansu Fati in the end said, I'm not going to be taking it, and because of that, that is why we are seeing Ansu Fati return most likely by the end of March or in the beginning of April. So he could make it just in time for the game against Sevilla, which will be on April 2nd, and it will be after the international break. So I do assume that Xavi is going to want to use Ansu Fati immediately when he is supposedly fully recovered, and we should expect Ansu Fati to also be a starting 11 type type of player, like he did say in the press conference. He is a main player without a doubt. And then moving on towards Dani Alves. Now, Dani Alves is not going to be here. I do want to remind everyone here, I know that he has been playing very good, but Xavi in the end chose to use Ferran, Adama, and Aubameyang as these three players to go into the Europa League and leave out Dani Alves. But overall, I do expect Barcelona to bring their best game. Now, let's shift this conversation just for a little bit, right? Because now I want to talk about how Xavi was speaking about Erling Haaland, and this is very important to note out because Xavi continues to really be that main boss within this club. He shows that he has authority. He shows that he has way more control than many of us do think. Now, why am I saying that? That is because he continues to be very transparent regarding Erling Haaland, because this is what he had to say during the press conference. It's always the best time to sign for Barcelona. There is no better club in the world. Since I am interviewing, no player has ever said, I would not come to FC Barcelona. And then this is where the interviewers were saying, okay, what about Erling Haaland? And Xavi did say this: when you can talk to any player, you tell him what's here, our way of playing, of training. Let him know that this is the best club and the city is wonderful. There are many things, but what I try to do is make things very clear in football. And there you have it, my friends. This is exactly what we were discussing a few videos ago. Like, go back to that video where I was talking about on how Joan Laporta completely denies having a conversation with Erling Haaland. I did make that video about 2 or 3 days ago. I'm going to be having the link in the description box down below, and it'll take you straight there. I'm also going to be showing a picture so you guys can see exactly what that video does look like. But basically, we were talking about within that video on how, yes, Joan Laporta, Mateo Lemán, or Xavi Hernandez, whoever's in charge of doing these type of things, they cannot give a contract offer to Erling Haaland. It would be something that players cannot do, and you need the permission from other clubs in order to do so, and Dortmund is not going to be allowing that. But what you could do when it comes to Erling Haaland is speak to this player and just talk about what it's like to play at Barcelona. What type of style do we play? What players are in Barcelona and what is their potential? And this is something that Erling Haaland is very fascinated with. He likes the way Barcelona is evolving. He likes the players that are progressing in this club and how they're playing. You could talk about that, but what you cannot do is go up to Erling Haaland and say, hey, we'll offer you 25 million euros. We're going to give you a 5-year deal. These are going to be your variables. What do you say? You cannot have that conversation. Right now, what Barcelona is trying to do is trying to convince Erling Haaland that this is the club for him, that if he steps foot on this field and he wears the Barcelona shirt, he will be a very dominant force with this club. So yes, even though Joan Laporta did say that there were no negotiations regarding him or Mateo Lemán and speaking to Mino Raiola regarding the transfer, yes, it is true. Like, yes, he did deny it because it never happened. But that conversation of Haaland and Xavi Hernandez, that does exist, my friends. It did happen before, and that is a very, very good sign. And especially when you know that Xavi has given out a hint to everybody in the media that no one has ever said no to FC Barcelona, which makes us think that maybe Haaland said, okay, this actually does look like a really, really good idea. But now going back into the conversation of Barcelona and Galatasaray, because look, when it comes to Galatasaray, it is not going to be an easy game. Like, when it comes to the knockout rounds, it's never going to be an easy path, regardless on how bad they have been doing in their league. For example, Galatasaray in this season, they have not been on their best game, and especially within the league. And in other words, they're not what they once were a few years ago, because in the table right now, within the Turkish league, they are in 12th place, and they're considered to be in the bottom 3 when it comes to keeping a clean sheet. So there is no excuses for Barcelona not to score in this game. Like, yes, it's not going to be an easy game, but when Barcelona really give it their all, we always end up getting a good result. And we are going to be playing home first, which basically means that all of the goals do have to come here. We have to really bang out at the very least 3 goals at our home against this team, because the next game is going to be away. So I do expect Barcelona to sit very high on the field and be very attack focused. And so let's go into the starting 11. So we could expect to see a starting 11 like this: Ter Stegen in goal, our defensive line being Alba, Araujo, Gerard Piqué, and Serginho Dest. I do not see Eric Garcia nor Lenglet nor anybody, no center back right now, not even Mingueza, to go into this center back duo between Piqué and Araujo. This is a center back duo that is becoming one of the best duos in Europe. As for the midfield, we should expect to see Busquets, Pedri, and Frankie, because again, remember, there is no Gavi. I do expect to see Frankie as an interior full time for the full 90 minutes, and then our front 3 being Adama Traoré on the right wing, Ferran Torres as the number 9, and Memphis Depay as the left winger. Now, right now, it is a good time, and especially against a team like this, tomorrow night, for Ferran Torres to play as a number 9 and bang in a lot of goals. He needs it. He needs the confidence. He misses so many opportunities. He has been doing this over the past 4 to 5 games, and tomorrow night will be a perfect opportunity for him to regain that confidence back. As for Memphis Depay, he would be the perfect player to form that duo with Ferran Torres, because he does have the technicality, he does have the one touch to really do amazing things in that final third area. And then when it comes to the substitutions, I do want to see Dembélé coming in for Adama Traoré, Eric Garcia coming in eventually for either Araujo Araujo or Gerard Piqué if Barcelona end up winning 4-0, 5-0 by like the 70th minute or 80th minute or 90th minute, and then have Riqui Puig also come in, because honestly, if Gavi's not going to be playing, we should expect to see Riqui Puig receive some sort of minutes, because Sergio Roberto's not going to be there. Obviously, Nico Gonzalez could play in this game, but maybe he could come in for someone like Busquets, and so we should see Riqui Puig play in this game. Hopefully, he does get a good amount of minutes and really impress Xavi Hernandez. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona pre-match preview and daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.